I don't know if anybody will join us. It's been so long. It is November 16th, 2020. This is Atlanta United FC Weekly, a Home Before Dark podcast.
Oh, God. I wasn't prepared. There it is.
Oh, there it is. What do you got, Kevin?
It's a new Treehorn cider that I hadn't had before. The Miyabi, which is cider infused with shiso and yuzu. And then I got a bottle of Weller, which will be the primary focus throughout the night. So,
we talked about what yuzu was. What's shiso? I know it's shiso leaf, but what is?
It's some sort of like aromatic, basically.
Gotcha. It's not the dried bonito flakes. Is that in there?
It's definitely.
It's like a good ramen broth.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's disgusting, Tim.
Dan, what are you drinking?
I've got a hibiscus LaCroix.
That one's good. That's one of my favorites. I think the limoncello is still my tops, and then the
gross.
It really throws Kevin off because he hates lemon dessert. And that limoncello smell, it tastes like lemon curd. Like it tastes. I don't know how they did it without any sweetener.
I do like the key lime though, because it tastes like lime Skittles.
Huh? Interesting.
It does. It tastes just like lime Skittles.
Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in on this beautiful Monday evening in freezing Atlanta. I am Tim Herb, as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Kevin Bradley, in the middle of the screen.
First billing.
Yeah. And Dan James all the way to the right.
Fuck this.
For those of you guys who are watching. The British guy, for those of you who you guys are just listening to the show. Yeah. I just got water in my little $5 Ozark Trail Yeti.
No, I'm
stuff, though.
I'm not drinking tonight. I'm trying to only drink on non-school nights. So we'll see how that goes.
It's the end of the year, man. All bets are off.
Well, I mean, it's been a hell of a year.
You're talking to somebody that got a dozen donut dollies this past weekend and a caramel cake from Piece of Cake and put in work on both of them. So.
And then guess what came out today? And
a lot came out of me today, but I'm talking about something completely different.
Yeah, I'm talking about the delicious Chick-fil-A peppermint milkshake is back.
I'm just waiting for the dark chocolate peppermint bark pretzel chips to come out.
So they have those. They have those in the Milanos now. The Pepperidge Farm Milanos.
And don't they have the chocolate orange Milanos now too? Isn't that another thing that they've just recently put out?
And guess who has chocolate oranges in the freezer? The Terry's chocolate orange. You know, the one that you take and slam against. Yeah, yeah.
Did you slam it before you put it in the freezer, or are you going to do it afterwards with a softball bat?
Yeah. Yeah. Just throw it against the concrete in the garage.
Those things are delicious. That's what we used to get our teachers at Christmas.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Back in England?
Back in England, yeah.
I didn't even know you guys had teachers. I thought
Terry's,
you kind of
Terry's chocolate orange?
Yes, yeah. Terry's chocolate orange.
So,
yeah, John Terry.
That's right. Yeah, it's British.
It's John Terry's family. Yeah, I think he comes from chocolate orange money. I think that's where he gets that. He gets that sense of entitlement where he could just sleep with all of his teammates' wives. And
he just gives them a chocolate orange to make up for it.
I don't think he's talking about actual chocolate orange, Dan. I think that's something completely different. Anyway,
give you a chocolate orange.
Yeah. We got Elliot Beeve and Richard Gordon, Brian, Brittany S., Pierce Hicks. Thank you guys for tuning in. Atlanta United pretty much doesn't have anything left on the 2020 schedule.
God.
The exception. That's why the title of this episode is Almost End of the Season.
Oh, that's right.
One more game in the CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah, it's not going to be more than that. That's for sure.
Yes. Against.
Because we've got to overcome a 3-0 deficit right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Did you hear what Darren Eales said? He was like, I'm sure that they won't be able to come over because of coronavirus, and then it'll end in a tie, and then we'll only play ourselves in a penalty shootout, and we'll probably still lose.
No.
Because of 2020.
Yeah. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I don't think it's because of 2020 with Atlanta United anymore. I think there's bigger problems afoot than the year.
Yeah. Yeah, like what do we do? There's a lot to talk about moving forward, just like season end recap and like.
Should we do thumbs up, thumbs down?
Absolutely, it worked so well last time. Why not?
I need to find I need to get better at that's my New Year's resolution is going to be getting better at like special effects in the studio and like now that we're remote. So like we'll do the Joaquin Phoenix thumbs up, thumbs down from Gladiator. Get that up on the screen whenever.
We could either do thumbs up or thumbs down, or out of 5, how many Terry's chocolate oranges did each player earn?
Oh god, that's too much math.
Are we talking about like a full chocolate orange, or are we talking about a slice?
No.
I do like a 5
how
point.
many?
I like a 5-point scale out of instead of a 10-point scale. I will say
so
that.
I would say Brooks Lennon earned 5 chocolate oranges this season because he was arguably our best player.
Yeah, he needed him too to hydrate afterwards. Whose mom is bringing the chocolate orange slices?
Somebody shows up with chocolate orange slices after the game instead of regular orange slices.
Sorry,
you still just eat them the same way. Just leave the rind on it.
Don't you? That's the way. So I was talking to Angie about that. I was like, I don't eat the core. Like there's still like,
but it's chocolate, Tim.
No, it's just like boneless wings.
Yeah, you leave the chocolate rind on the outside.
It's just like boneless chicken wings. You got to leave the middle.
Nice. I'm still thinking that you hydrate with eating chocolate. So
you're not wrong.
In South Carolina, dude. What do you expect?
We had Coburg chocolate milk when we were playing soccer. And that was,
yeah.
That and some Murray's donuts.
Yep. So season's over, except for one game. Hopes for next season, biggest one that the Sinclair issue gets worked out, right?
Yeah.
Is that everybody's biggest hope for next season? Because otherwise nobody gets to watch any games next year. Because
I will be a cable subscriber.
Because everybody's trial of their VPNs and ESPN Pluses have run out at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of just added to my apathy towards the end of the year, not being able to watch the games. It's like, well, I mean, can it really get much worse than that? It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Dan, your jersey right now, you look like you're wearing a robe of some sort.
It is a robe.
I kind of love it.
I think you should just cut it down the middle and make it a robe.
Walk around the house, nothing underneath it.
No, yeah.
A t-shirt robe. Just a t-shirt length robe.
Isn't that what baseball jerseys are?
No, it's what, like either that or a gi, right? Isn't that like the top half of a gi? Isn't that basically what it is? It's just open with a sash.
More of a statement. More of a statement to wear. That t-shirt length robe or a sleeveless polo shirt.
Sleeveless polo shirt. I'm trying to think of what that would look like. So I've been watching The Bachelorette, and somebody had a sleeveless hoodie, which I thought was the most ridiculous thing.
Oh yeah,
it was a tank top hoodie, basically.
Well, The Rock wears.
What is happening right now?
The Rock likes those. He wears those a lot.
What's
in his
the point?
Paradise.
What's the point in that?
It's just like the down vests that we had growing up. That the rich kids would wear in Sumter.
Like a body warmer?
Like a sleeveless down vest. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but those are comfy and they look
but they
good.
don't. It's just like when your chest, like my chest is never the thing that's more cold than my extremities. You know what I mean? Like my arms and my fingers and my hands are always.
So you want to just wear sleeves, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
just sleeves with a shoulder strap to the hoodie, and then the chest parts all go.
Why are there so many sleeveless options and no torso-less options anywhere? Where's the chest-free option of t-shirts?
Well, Tim, you know when you would wear mittens when you were a little kid, and you would have a string tying them together? No. So your mom and dad would run this one string of your mitten up one arm, across your back, and down the other arm, so you wouldn't lose your mittens. So you would have your mittens on your hands. So maybe, Tim...
Is this an episode of Little Bear? Nobody had mittens with strings that draped across their neck where
No.
we grew up, Dan.
Well, maybe not in like tropical South Carolina, but in the freezing north where I came from, we had mittens. And
did you also wear a yellow rain jacket with a matching yellow hat and yellow boots?
Yeah.
No, I was
What are you
more
doing there,
of
Paddington?
Paddington didn't wear a yellow rain jacket. He wear a blue one, and that's what I wore.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of the man in the yellow hat.
Oh boy.
Oh,
So
awesome.
what are you guys expecting to see out of the offseason? Obviously, I know we're expecting to get a manager signing, and then we'll see some big roster moves. What are you kind of hoping for, and what are you expecting to see aside from the obvious with the manager choice?
You mean just in a choice of manager, or what?
Just in general with the club in the offseason.
Man, I hope that they can get rid of some dead wood. And I think, the interpretation of what is dead wood is kind of out there, depending on which players you like and which ones you don't like. But it's... So I heard on the media press conference that Atlanta United did is they're looking at 2021 as more of like a relaunch, to kind of emulate some of that energy they had in 2017. And I think that is a great idea, both from the horrible communication that came from the Atlanta United front office and the awful job that the marketing and digital marketing team did. I thought they were probably just as bad as the team. It was a big collective.
Especially seeing Boca Negra shove that guy in the last game the way he did. It was awful.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. Boca Negra shoved the guy?
Yeah.
No. You remember he got sent off? He got another red card, or he got
He
another red card.
He put on that Escobar skin suit and then went and shoved him.
Oh, okay.
It was a joke because everybody's been trying to throw the front office out, baby with the bathwater style, and yet the players are still acting the way.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't think we throw the front office out. I think the digital marketing team needs to get some sort of kick up the arse because they were awful.
No kidding. Have you seen how big Spike's gotten? He's not even a puppy anymore. What,
I think what all the best years are behind us.
I'm surprised they didn't do the same like Goldfish thing. How when he gets too big, when he's not cute anymore, you just kind of pass him on, but then get a new Spike.
Yeah.
But so no one knows the difference. It's just like an everlasting.
I saw Spike on the digital like 2 days ago. I was like, that's a grown ass man. Like he's got a sack on him. He's a service dog now. Like what?
What are you talking about, dude? Oh, you mean like a service dog sack? I thought that was like, Tim, this is a family-friendly show. Stop talking about the Spike sack.
Oh, Spike sack. I think that's medieval torture device, isn't it? We got a lot of chatter in the trap about who's getting cut, who needs to get cut in terms of dead wood. I think he's talking about dead wood.
Well, Kubo, I totally agree. Kubo Torres needs to go. I mean, he's dead wood. He could never get it up, for the game.
He's got a sack on him now.
He's real dead wood. He's real dead wood.
Yeah.
Drops an F word every other word, gets canceled after 2 seasons. No.
Yeah, he was awful. Joke. I think Mo Adams played pretty good in the past couple of games, the last few games. I only see him as a backup though. Surely they're not going to consider him as a day in, day out starter. I'm hoping that some of this U22 initiative can help get us a decent player who's not necessarily a DP level in a 6 role, because I don't think anyone on the team right now is really going to be able to step in and be that starter that we need. You think Jeff comes back?
Yeah, I do. So I think this year,
if this team is poised to do a full rebuild next year, the way that they're talking about it, I don't know why you would bring Jeff back.
Why not bring Jeff back? I don't know. I think they probably leave it in his hands a lot like they did with Michael Parkhurst, right? And then
if you're Jeff, do you come back? Maybe that's a better question.
I think so. I mean, from my perspective, and maybe I'm being selfish and maybe I'm reading things wrong, but Jeff he could play for how far is he? I guess I'd have to look that up to see how far he is from having the caps record in MLS. I know Beckerman, I think, is still tops, right? Him or Chad Marshall. One of those two has the most games played in MLS history. But between that, he didn't lose a step this year. I mean, we take a look at some of the players on our team. I mean, Emerson Hyman being the main one that people look at, and he had a pretty precipitous drop in his form this year versus last year. I mean, don't really look at Jeff and say I don't think he's lost a step. He's gotten a little chippier. I think he's got a little more ornery as he's gotten older. But at the same time, his fitness didn't drop, his positional awareness, his ability to lead on the field, I feel like is still there. And I think that after so long, a guy who's won championships, I think it might feel a little weird for him to step away on such a down note. I think that he might want to come back. I mean, what other leadership are you talking about coming back from this team to usher in these younger guys, to usher in a new era? You kind of have to have that bridge. Not saying I don't know.
Joseph Martinez and Brad Guzan are those two players, right?
No, I know, but I think maybe there needs to be more than that. But I don't know. Just my perspective. I think Jeff comes back just knowing that the type of player he is and his track record.
Yeah, I feel like the leaders on the field are Brad. You've got Escobar and then Jeff and then Martinez, like Kevin's saying. But I'm looking at the roster now. It's pretty thin on the ground with that leadership and some sort of continuity. But at this point, does continuity really matter? Right. Because we have those few, barely a handful of players that are going to bring that with them.
Yeah.
But the front office did say that they thought their current squad was pretty good. So I wonder, when they talk about a relaunch, is it more of a marketing relaunch, or is it like a squad overhaul?
I think there's going to be a lot of squad overhaul for sure. I mean, there's a lot of players who you can conceivably go ahead and bank on being cut. I don't know that this team keeps Hyman in going into next year, considering
I just don't know what kind of cap hit you take, because it's not like nobody's going to take his salary on unless he's going to restructure going to another team, which I doubt he will. And I don't know what the cap hit would look like it's not like, I don't think it's like NFL where if they, because we're not talking guaranteed, non-guaranteed contracts in MLS. If I'm not mistaken, all money's guaranteed. So it's not like you can cut him and just, replace the $900,000 a year in the cap. I don't know. Brian did bring up, maybe I was mistaken. He's saying Jeff had some pretty bad games this year. He said passing the ball to the other team 5 times type games. So,
well, I mean, he was a lot more immobile. I mean, but he was. I didn't. But that was the thing, though. We needed some sort of ornery presence in the midfield to, crash into people.
Does Jeff do what we all thought Michael Parkhurst was going to do and come back as an assistant coach for Atlanta United next year?
I think so. I'd love to see him in some sort
I think that is a more reasonable. I mean, especially whenever you see Bocanegra coming out in whatever game that was onto the sidelines, having conversations with him right before the Frank de Boer firing and stuff like that. It's obvious that he likes being in Atlanta. He clearly has some sort of a leadership mentor role on the team. And I don't personally know if he has voiced that he wants to continue playing very long. And I think some of this may be speculative about whether he's ready to retire or not. But if he is ready to retire, I could easily see him, especially if this team is talking about doing an overhaul and bringing in a new manager, to have somebody from sort of representing the players in the locker room in some sort of a coaching, field team role. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we keep him, but he is depth piece on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, His contract last year was $210,000, so that's a very minimal cap hit. And if he's coming back as a player, it's not going to be that much.
No,
depending on his contract, if it's the same or not.
No, I think
it's not going to be any higher.
No, I think that's a fair assessment. If he does come back, he's going to be more of a utility bench player.
Let's go to the trap real quick to see what people are saying in terms of who's getting sacked, who needs to get sacked, and Coach Steve talking about getting he's got a sack on him T-shirt made. So I would presume, and probably correctly, that the people that everybody is chiming in on are people that they think are going to get cut. Hayeto. I don't know if that's
it's Joseto, Tim.
Joseto, yeah, right. It says Hyman out with that contract. LA Beaven saying Castro out. I think that's a pretty given. Just given the fact that he was on a loan, I think that.
No, yeah, Castro's gone.
Terminate that deal and send him back. Brian saying Adam John, Kubo Torres, and Mo Adams, which I think is a little surprising. LA Beaven kind of backing up Mo Adams. He said, and so did Brittany S. and Haleto, saying that, you know, he did well at the end of the season. He's a good backup, number 6. Who else in here? Who else? Let's see. Kubo over John for Elliot Beaven. Who would you guys go with? Kubo or John, if you're going to keep one for depth piece?
Oh, John.
Okay. Yeah.
So one word about Adams. He's getting paid just shy of 100,000. You want to keep, you want to keep that contract. Yep. You don't want to get rid of him.
No.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's actually something I was going to bring up. Pierce Hicks saying if we lose Jeff, we have to trade for another, or trade or sign another backup. Let him and Mo Adams back up.
You mean Joseph?
No, he's saying Jeff Reynolds.
Sorry.
Yes, if we lose Jeff, we have to trade or sign a backup. We let him and Mo Adams back up a new defensive midfielder. And then he brings up, and this is what I was going to bring up before my brain broke, whenever Brian was talking about Jeff having games where he passed the ball to the opposing team 5 times. Pierce Hicks saying Remedi fell off. Shake my head. He had games the same in the same vein, and not just that, he's a lot younger than Jeff. And was kind of, I think, being relied on to supply the team with more than Jeff was this season.
Yeah. His contract base salary last year was $300,000, which was the same as Florian Pogba, which is interesting. But that's too much for me to keep Remedi. I was really disappointed with him this season. Yeah, I'd cut him. I
agree. But okay, so the next thing, and I don't know how much you guys have watched Jackson Conway play, but he's come up just now in the chat where Pierce is saying you keep Kubo, let Adam John go, and Jackson Conway can be our new Adam John. And it seems like everybody wants Jackson Conway to come in. The kid scored some killer goals. He was playing really well for Atlanta United too. And you know me, I'm all about playing the hashtag play your kids. So
you're saying get rid of Jan and have Conway be the backup?
Him and Kubo. Because you conceivably do need 2 backups, especially knowing, as knock on wood, Joseph's injury history. He's been plagued by him in multiple seasons, long-standing injuries. So you do have to do more contingency planning. And a guy who scored a lot, I don't say get rid of Adam John. I say bring in Jackson Conway. I would keep John and Conway. I would get rid of Kubo Torres, though. But Jackson Conway's not going to cost you much money bringing him in. He's not he's saying, Pierce Hicks saying he's a homegrown, so his cap hit is super low.
I feel like you got to have Joseph, John, keep Gallagher on there, and Conway, because Gallagher's got to prove it. He's 24. He's
did he not prove it?
I was going to say, I think he did prove it in the little bit we got to see.
No, but are you going to sign him to a?
I see what you're saying.
A pretty decent contract. He's still got to prove himself to, which I don't think he's going to meet the expectations that we all want him to do. But you've got him, and then having Jackson Conway to put pressure on Gallagher as well. I feel that's a great. But Kubo Torres, I mean, dude, he's making $500,000 off us. He's just what Kubo Torres is just coming in here and collecting a check. That's what he's doing, and I'm over it, Kev. I don't want it. I don't want it on my team. I don't want people like that on my team.
No,
I want people like
contribute. Yeah.
I want people like Julian Gressel who will outperform their contracts.
Right.
And Brooks Lennon.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You need people that are going to come in and play hard no matter what. And I think that's what everybody really enjoyed about the performance that Moreno had, at least in the last few games of the season, right? Where we knew that the season was kind of shot and there wasn't much of a chance for this team to make the playoffs. And yet he comes out and puts on a really great performance and starts to build momentum going into what we're going to have next season versus the opposite of Kubo Torres, who, like you said, for all intents and purposes, came in and got a paycheck and will likely see the end of his Atlanta United career going into next year.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about ending the season in bad form. What do we do with Brad Guzan? You mentioned Brad Guzan. He's making a good bit of money, right? He's a pretty big TAM guy. He's you guys mentioned him being the veteran leadership to usher in the new era, as it were, Atlanta United 2.0, Atlanta United Infinity.
Yeah.
And but the problem is he made some pretty glaring errors, like in like reaction time and
Okay. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
She just says it looks like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Age looks like it's starting to become a factor with him.
Show me a player on this team that did not make glaring errors throughout this season.
Marcelino Moreno. That's it. my favorite new player.
That's all I'm going to say.
My new favorite player.
I think it's there's some players that you're going to have to cut based on salary and just a continued performance fall off. But I don't know that, like, because Brad Guzan's performance is, yes, he definitely has some mistakes that you could say lost Atlanta United a handful of games this season. However, I don't think his mistakes led to the standing of Atlanta United as a whole for this season. And I think in large part, some of the positions that he was placed in was due to poor performance by a struggling defense at times. That said, I think if history repeats itself after next year with a new manager and a new system defensively and a better strategy about what this team is going to be doing and how it's organized and orchestrated on the back line, I think absolutely he's up for discussion to be let go. Right now, based on where the team sits and where we see it headed next year, I would hate to have to add a new keeper into the mix unless there's some signing that comes on the board that you can say without a doubt is going to put up a better result or mean more to the team than what he does, at least in the locker room. You know.
So there is, as part of the Marcelino Moreno deal, Rocco Rios Novo, who is an Argentinian, he plays for Lanús. He's an 18-year-old goalkeeper, and I believe he's had some youth games for Argentina. He's supposed to be an up-and-coming keeper that is supposed to be part of the deal, and I believe he should be coming through in like January or so. So he could potentially be the new guy. I'm a little disappointed with Brittany S, though. She's not toeing the company line. She's like, we need a new goalkeeper. And she's not even thinking about who we've got on the bench.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what Brian says, like, say, Alec can. Yeah. Agreed. If we're going to do anything, that's what we do.
I feel like Brittany S, I mean, she is the longest time listener. Exactly. And she knows the company logo and mission on this. And I cannot believe that she just dismissed Alec Cornelius Rudolph Kahn just like that.
Yeah.
No,
hashtag canon. Good job, Brittany S.
Yeah. It's almost like we have an MLS caliber keeper on our bench or something that we inexplicably haven't traded in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's a market for him. I mean, there have been decent He's just going to go somewhere else and be a backup.
Well, you want to talk about keepers? How great of a signing was Orlando's keeper this year for them? I mean,
Gillespie, yeah.
How many games has he? I mean, you can argue that he's changed their course in their season versus where they had been the past couple of years. I mean, my God.
Not just that, dude. That team is set up for success for a while. Like their oldest players are between Nani. Nani's a little older, but what is it? Matias Almeida. He's still like young, like early 30s.
Matias Almeida.
Matias Almeida. What am I thinking? That's the coach from San Jose.
Yeah, like
Pereira. Sorry, Pereira, the Uruguayan guy. Their midfielder, but he's still like early 30s. Yeah, I feel like an idiot. My brain is scrambled, I guess. But I mean, between DK and Chris Mueller and Pereira and Benji Michel, and like that whole team is super young and hungry, and they have a good coach. And this sucks. This is the worst timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a little bit of solace in the fact that they're not as deep. And so potentially, like, I feel like Atlanta United has shown that they are pretty deep. I mean, this season we've been playing a lot of backups, and just, whatever.
But not any, I mean, to the point that we were just talking about as far as goalkeeper, we played a lot of backups, but none at keeper, surprisingly. Like, I don't know why that hadn't been rotated out at the end of the season, which we all sat here and talked about. Like, you don't really have a realistic shot at it. Why not put a new face in the back,
Because they're not going to they're not going to show that they're going to mail it in.
I know.
Kevin Escobar with the comment of the night.
He can't keep getting away with it.
Oh shit! Jesse Pinkman in the middle. That is getting pinned for the rest of the show.
Oh,
science, Mr. White. Say it. Say it, Kevin.
I'm good.
I think one of the things we have to look for the Eric Lopez saga to unfold, see what the hell happens with it, right? Because it's very weird the way the circumstances in which he was brought into the club, and the fact that he hasn't played a single minute for the senior team. I think it's with the promise that maybe next year he's going to be either a DP player or TAM guy. I don't know. But we have to figure that out. And then the Barco thing. Barco's got I have a feeling Barco's probably going to be gone, right?
Sorry, I'm just looking at trying to find Eric Lopez stuff.
Yeah, I would think that Barco is probably gone, Tim, to answer your question. Will he bring in 30 million? Probably not. He could.
Why not?
So
why would he bring in 30 million?
Well, because he didn't have a good season.
Why? Because he was extremely subpar whenever he came back? That can't be why.
No.
I mean, it's just like, it's been a crappy season. I mean, he was out for 11, 12 games?
What?
I think it's 30 million or bust, man.
So the other thing I wasn't thinking about, his contract winds down next year. So if he just, if he doesn't do anything, if they don't manage to sell him, then he would leave on a free at the end of the year. So he's gonna, and I wasn't thinking about that. So he's gonna have to. They're either going to have to move him or he's going to leave on a free. And I think they're going to try to do their best to move him. And they'll probably, I mean, I don't know. At this point, you're probably going to take a loss on him.
Yeah, probably. I think that's safe to say. Oh, well, though. All right, so what else we got? I guess the good news is going into next year, we'll have a healthy Joseph Martinez up front, which is going to be great.
Yeah.
Something that I think we all kind of forgot about.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I mean, what's his ramp up period going to be? Is he going to come back the same old Joe that we know, but is he going to take some time to kind of get back into the squad, lose some of that COVID-19? I mean, I know if you look at I keep on seeing this photograph of when...
He did get a little bit of a belly, didn't he?
Well, if you've seen the photograph after Yamil Assad has scored the first goal in Atlanta United history, in the background, Joseph Martinez is running up after him. And Joseph Martinez, he's got like a BMI of maybe about a 2. I mean, he's a tank and he's all muscle. And he doesn't look like that right now.
No. But nobody does, so can't hold it against him. Right. I looked a lot better in January than I do right now.
Yeah, me too.
I think I had hair in January.
January? Yeah.
Well, you've always had a beard, Kevin.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like everybody in the trap is probably done with Barco as well. Brittany saying Barco can go for me. Elliot even says we need a fresh face for the team. Kevin Escobar asking if we're selling him for oil money too. That would be nice if we could find a suitor out there.
I have a question. What if you can get – what would be the number that you'd be willing to sell Joseph for? If the club is if the club is really doing a full overhaul, we're going to flip all 3 DPs going into next year. And this is completely hypothetical because we know that Joseph is going to stay and he's happy in Atlanta and all that. But what offer would you entertain for Joseph? Realistically, don't say $100 million or something stupid, or $30 million for Barco.
Well, we're talking about Joseph, right?
Yes.
So
coming off an injury, sight unseen.
Oh, selling him now.
That's what I'm saying. COVID-19 and all. Sight unseen, based on his history. What are you willing to sell?
I don't think you're going to get an offer that you.
I don't care if you're going to get an offer or not. That's not part of the game. What would you be willing to sell him for?
Okay, so we're willing to sell him based on what we know he can do, regardless of an injury.
Yeah, but you're still going to have to sell him now, coming off an injury.
Okay, so if someone's coming to me and giving me an offer, the only offer I accept would be 40 and above.
Okay.
I'm going to go Arsene Wenger, 40 million pounds, 40 million and 1 pounds. That would be the offer that I would have to get. No, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this is a trap. I feel like
it's a trap.
I feel like this is a trap, and maybe I don't want to be a part of this game. And I
Come
feel
on.
I'm gonna get no. I'm with Brittany S. I'd say 50 million because he's granted, like you said, sight unseen. He's coming off of a pretty big injury. Those injuries aren't necessarily career-ending the way that they used to be whenever we were growing up. Science behind those recovery. I back in the day, I remember it would take you 2 years legitimately.
Yeah.
Whenever you saw a player get an ACL tear, you need a year to recover, and then you need a year to get back to your normal self. And I feel like that's changed a lot over the past 5 years. Yeah. 5-10 years. And remember, like Tommy John used to be like a career-ending death sentence for a lot of pitchers, and now sometimes it's just like a routine thing now. I mean, you lose a season, but yeah, I'd say 50 million. I'd say he's in the prime of his career. He's arguably the best striker in MLS. The market's super inflated. I mean, I guess COVID kind of.
Don't know what the market is.
Yeah, that's true. You don't know what the market is. But in Nicolas Pepe can get you like, if Lille can get like 80 million pounds, whatever they got from Arsenal for Nicolas Pepe, I mean, you gotta think that Joseph get you a decent chunk of change, right? I would say 50 million is my selling number. What about you, Kevin?
I think it's somewhere. I think you're both in the right ballpark. I think it's somewhere between 40 and 50. I don't know what that number is exactly, but I think to Dan's point, I think it's at least 40.
Yeah.
I don't think you come much lower than that. 35 being absolutely the bottom. But yeah, I think it's right around that.
Man, that would be interesting if they did sell him.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if they're completely overhauling the team and you want to do a full manager buy-in, I don't know. I don't know what you do. It's a tough question that the front office is going to have to ask themselves, I'm sure. But I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think they need to ask themselves that question. I don't think that one's necessary.
I'm sure that they're going to get offers, right?
Oh, sure. I mean,
Exactly.
I would be surprised if they don't. I feel like he is more valuable to Atlanta United than he is to a team coming in to try and buy him.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, with, the MLS is such a difficult, unpredictable league, and you've got someone who has been perfect for MLS.
Yeah. Ooh! I like Richard Gordon's point here. Okay, so if you do sell, let's just say for 45, we'll split the difference. Sell for 45 million. What do you do with that money then? Let's say you net. So let's say we sell Barco for, let's just take the under and say 15, and then you sell Joseph for 45, and you end up with 60, and you've got 2 DP spots to fill, and Moreno carries over just because he's the newest piece, just for shits and giggles, because we don't know really what his value may be after just a couple of games here.
I know of a pretty talented attacking midfielder who's plying his trade over in Saudi Arabia that we could spend some money on. Bring him back to MLS. You guys know who I'm talking about, right?
Oh, God, I hope not.
You guys know who I'm talking about, right?
I don't want to know. Oh.
How old is he now?
He's 33. He's still pretty young.
You're not going to spend. You would like he's worth $7 million.
No.
Oh, that's his salary.
That's salary. He's making way too much to complain MLS, but
yeah.
But for real though, I like Brian's point. Hire Tata. But for real though, Sebastian Giovinco's probably made his money the past 2 years. In Saudi, he's probably thinking, I need to get back to MLS and show everybody who's boss. And he was the best player in MLS probably whenever he was here over the course of
How much do you think it's going to take to bring him back as a DP?
To bring Gio back?
Yeah.
Broke Dan's brain, but there's now this there's this implied proposition that we have to figure out a way to get Sebastian Giovinco to join Atlanta United. Dan just is so confused. So how did we get here?
It's not confusion. It's just like,
Kevin's like, okay, Dan, what do we got to do to get him
that?
back?
I just want to break his brain.
So if you want Giovinco coming back, you've got to match his salary, right? I mean, so he wants $7 million, so you're going to pay him $7 million to come back to MLS on top of.
Yeah, that's how we ended up in the Hyman debacle, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Rangers. Thanks, Bournemouth. Thanks, Fulham.
So if Joseph is sold and we've got 40 million to play with, or 45. Oh, sorry, Kevin, 45.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do with the other 5? I got us 50, and you guys are. What did you do with the other 5?
I said we split the middle and went 45.
Is it offshore?
Dan said 40, huh?
Did you guys take it offshore?
We had to buy out Hyman's contract.
Oh,
man.
Okay.
If you've got that amount of money, I go into South America and I buy the
whole team,
the best player who's 25.
Yeah, we
under.
did that with Pity Martinez, and look where it got us.
No, he's 27.
They said he was the best player in South America. Literally, it was written on the trophy. And look what it got us.
Just for that year, though.
Right.
Just for that year.
I mean, there's plenty of different ways. I feel like.
Ooh, how much is Messi's contract going to be whenever he comes in as a DP?
Man, do you really want Messi coming to your team?
He's going to be. What do you think it's going to be? $60 million
when he comes in.
Yeah.
Man, how old is Messi now?
He's our age. Oh, he's my age. He's 33.
He's 33. So he's going to be at least another 5 years. He'll be 38.
Yeah. How much did Galaxy pay Ibra?
He was on a TAM deal his first year, so not that much.
But then how much whenever he was DP?
His base salary was $7.2 million.
As a DP in his second year?
Wasn't he only here a year?
No, he was here for a year and a half, right? They brought him in as a TAM guy, and then they got rid of one of the Dos Santos brothers, and they were able to sign him as a DP. Last
year, his salary was $7.2 million.
Can we bring Ibra to Atlanta? Can we do Zlatlana?
Zlatlana.
Okay, yeah. Zlatan was the highest paid player in 2019, $7.2 million.
Right.
Man, I like some of these names that they're calling out for retirement league style. Like Steven Perales brings up a name that I was thinking about the other day, who's playing over in China, Oscar from Chelsea, who at a pretty young age took a payday over in. Is he playing in Shanghai? I can't remember what team he plays for. One of those big Chinese teams, but. How old is he? He's still only 29. He's still he plays for Shanghai.
So if you're playing in China, are you really, what's the level of competition you're playing against? I don't think you're going to be, I don't think the level of competition in China is very good. So you're going to be coming, you're going to be coming to MLS and you're going to be kind of a dull knife, I would imagine.
Look at his team though. He's got Hulk on his team too.
The Hulk
and Oscar, and they have Marco Arnautovic. It's China's not much different. Honestly, you're right, Dan. And as a whole, the average skill level of the players that are out on the field is probably not great. I feel like they tried to do. They tried to pretty much buy players to make their league good, and I think either it tanked or whatever. And now they have like homegrown. You can only have up to a certain amount of international players. I think it's even more strict than MLS. But yeah, it's like a weird retirement, like a semi-retirement league for these guys that are in their 20s. They go and just make a shitload of money.
How cool is it going to be whenever we get Ronaldo and Messi both playing in the MLS for one season? Because both of them are going to come on as retirees.
I don't think it's going to be good because they're going to be so old. They'll be older than Jeff Moreno at
40. It's hard to believe that Ronaldo's 35.
I just don't understand the mindset of like, oh, I'd love to go to an MLS game and see Ronaldo and Messi play. Like that seems like it's going to be really boring. Like,
unless you see a player come in like Ibra did and still light it up.
Yeah, but
by most accounts he shouldn't be based on age and tenure, right?
But could Messi do it on a rainy night, on a rainy Tuesday night at the Britannia? He's not going to be able to do it, right? Can he do it at a rainy night in Mapfre Stadium? Where there's literally 6 inches of water on the field. What is he gonna...
Yeah, and a team that's not built around him. That's my one criticism with Messi. He's always had the team built around him.
We don't have enough time to tell you how wrong you are, Dan.
That's fine. Elliot
he's
Beeman's
the most transcendent talent that's been in any sport in our lifetime.
I think he's a great player. Yeah, I agree with Elliot Beavan. Atlanta should sign Rafa as manager. I think that would be a pretty good pick.
Yeah. All right. Should we take a bet on when the announcement for Atlanta's manager will get released? Let's pick a date and see who gets closest. I'll write them down for manager watch. When do you expect Atlanta United to sign their manager? Whoever gets closest, no No Price is Right rules or anything like that. Just whoever gets closest flat out. We'll figure out something fun to do. Those in the trap, feel free to wager as well.
I'm going to say December 31st.
Okay. So Dan, 12/31. Tim.
Price is Right rules, January 1?
No, I said no Price is Right rules.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy looking up when the MLS Super Draft date is, and there's no date for it. It's in January. We have to have a manager before then, I would imagine.
Chiefs coach Steve says January the 6th.
What day is that of the week? I know it sounds stupid, but you don't want to make an announcement on like a Wednesday, right?
Brian says January 11th.
Friday, I think maybe January 8th. I'm going to go with the 8th of January. I think you announce it on a Friday, have everybody going to the weekend, super excited about Mauricio Pochettino somehow signing as the manager of Atlanta United. Even though he could probably have any managerial job he wants in the world. He came to Atlanta instead. I like it.
When did we start this season? Was it February this year?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be the same next year, right? What did you say, Tim? January 8th?
Yeah.
Do we have any more from the trap? I've got Cheese Coast Steve, Brian,
Brittany the 30th of December. Okay. Steven Perales says, I like what he says. He said, whenever Club America crashes out of the Liga MX tournament and we get Piojo, should be fucking awesome. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like,
it would be.
I think Piojo's the top of my realistic list of Atlanta United managerial candidates. Like, I think the energy alone that man would bring would be incredible.
Yeah, it would be so fun just watching him get sent off on the sidelines all the time.
I honestly would take him over Rafa. I have a huge soft spot in my heart, obviously, for Rafa Benitez and Istanbul, but I think that the game has passed him by in some aspects. I feel like his success of late hasn't really shown through, I guess. I think Piojo's, a better fit.
Yeah, I would like Piojo just because, as he's from Mexico, he has more of an idea of the culture, and it seems like a lot of the guys we bring over can be pretty sensitive to the cultural exchange because they're pretty young as well. So he would be a good guy. He would kind of understand. He knows all the colloquial languages, the colloquial pieces of South American Spanish that potentially Rafa may not know. Obviously, De Boer didn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know much of the Dutch colloquialisms either, apparently, which is great.
He won today.
Still the worst starting tenure.
I think I saw. I think it might have been Felipe Cardenas who was. I can't remember. It might have been Felipe. It was an exchange with Felipe. Somebody that I was reading on Twitter had actually pretty pragmatic response to his start, just the teams that he's played and the fact he played pretty well in the games that they've played, and maybe giving a little more credit. But
well, did you see? It might have been Felipe as well. He retweeted an article that De Boer had lost his past 3 games or something at the worst start of a Dutch coach. And then LGP actually responded.
Yeah, with the crying
emojis.
face emoji. Yeah, or laughing face emoji. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty dirty. That account's not verified. Are we sure that's 100% that's his Twitter account? Because I haven't seen LGP use Twitter very much. But
could be fake.
It's his cousin.
But I do believe I saw his brother responding to it. So I think it's legit.
Blame Siempre United.
Yeah.
I do miss LGP.
Yeah. Speaking of Siempre United, Michael Miranda's I didn't know Michael was old enough to have a son graduating from the Marines, but congratulations. It's fucking awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Another thing, local community and stuff like that. You know, we haven't recorded in a couple weeks, but thoughts and prayers out to our buddy AJ over at Atlanta United Fan TV. And sorry about your loss, man. It's you never want to hear anything like that, especially so close to home. So
yeah, it's awful.
Anything else tonight, boys?
Score predictions for a month from now.
Yeah, why not? Score prediction, I will say 4-0. Who are we playing? Monterey, right?
America.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, whatever. 4-0 Atlanta loss is all I'm saying. I don't care who it is. I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'd say probably another 3-0 loss.
Yep.
I hold no confidence for this team.
And I don't think that the team is going to have anything to play for at that point.
I think 4-0 Atlanta.
You're so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
I think we advance to the next round. And in doing so, we get Piojo fired, and then we get him in as manager. So Darren Eales and Bocanegra are going down to the team, and they're saying, you motherfuckers better go out there and embarrass Club America. And then we bring him in. And that's the end of the story. It's a fairy tale. And then he comes in and coaches us in the second round or third round, whatever it is. I've lost count of the round. But
Steven Perales, can Eric Lopez play the CCL? I think he can.
Who did I see was eligible? I know that Moreno is eligible. And then I think Lopez was the other person that's eligible. Yep, I like Giletto or Haleto's.
Josetto. How many times?
Josetto, yeah. Lopez and Conway, both with 2 goals, and we advance to the next round. I dig it.
I mean, that would be great. That would be awesome.
All right, what's everybody doing in the off season? We can end on a fun note. Richard Gordon's question: what's everybody doing in the off season? What's everybody got planned for holidays and festivities over the next month and a half?
Man, I've got
Dan's taken to sleeping in his car, like just for funsies now, apparently, which is a whole thing people are doing.
Yeah, we raised about, not just me, but we as a group, we raised about $1,000 for the homeless in Atlanta.
That's awesome. That's
really great. Awesome.
I'm going to have a Scotch tasting on Friday, so that'll be fun. And at my house.
Scotch eggs? Is that where we're just eating a bunch of different types of Scotch eggs?
That's right.
But you don't swallow them. You don't want to ruin your palate. You just chew it up.
Well, that you chew it up, you spit it out, but then you eat it again.
I prefer a double barrel where you get 2 yolks in it. I like a double barrel Scotch egg. It's got 2 yolks. Completely runny on the inside.
You still age it like Scotch, though, right? You got like a 15-year Scotch egg that's just been.
That's a 1,000-year-old egg. Dude, it's a 1,000-year-old Scotch egg.
Gross.
I remember I used to work next to this guy who used to eat a hard-boiled egg every day. And then one day he turned around and was like, oh, Dan, look, this one's got 2 yolks. And I was like, it's great. And stop eating hard-boiled eggs at your desk.
Did you pull up that Coors Light commercial? It twins! Is that what you No, that's immediately what I think when I get a double yolk egg.
He would cut his nails as well at his desk. It was beautiful.
Is there any sound more, like, is there a more pervasive sound throughout the house than nails being clipped? Like, you can hear it through headphones across the house. Like, it's...
What kind of nails does Angie have?
No, this is obviously
It's my nails.
Congrats, Elliot Bevan, graduating from college. That's awesome, man.
Oh, that is fucking awesome. Yeah,
really great. Good time to come out of school when the entire workforce is collapsed. That's awesome. Really, really good time for that.
Hey, dude, I did it in 2009. Yeah, after the banking collapse. So
Chiefs coach Steve doing some work around the house. It sounds like he did some demo. He got some new walls going up. Brittany S. continuing to stay at home and social distancing, as are we all. What else we got? Stephen Perales working construction in North Carolina, trying not to freeze.
Oh, dude, man.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be rough. Brian saying Neon Genesis, I guess Evangelion. Watching anime, just turning on Crunchyroll.
Right on. I finally watched that like a year ago. It was amazing. I'd never even heard about it because I'm, just not cool
it's
at all.
Funny because like I hadn't heard about it in probably 15 probably longer than that, 15 years. That was one of my brother's favorite animes. My mom actually just going through his old stuff and found a drawing from the cover of Evangelion in the house. And it's weird. She found that last week, and now everybody's talking about it. It's very interesting the way things work. It's weird.
What you got going on, Tim?
Serendipity. Working in the shop, probably. A lot of working in the shop, building furniture, building Christmas gifts, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've been creeping on your Instagram stories, Tim. It's a nice vacuum extraction system you've got set up.
Thank you. It's a 2-stage dust collector using a trash can. So it's it definitely. I don't know. I know you're probably saying that like jokingly, but like
no, I'm not.
That 70-gallon Harbor Freight, like whatever, the single-stage dust collector is a pain in the ass to change the bags in the filter. So you got that trash can. It's a cyclone separator, and it all mostly drops into the trash can. And I don't have to change that bag probably for months now, and I just have to dump out that trash can. It's nice.
No, especially with those CNCs. I mean, it's so much.
It's so much damn. Like I've been planing. I bought a ton of cut off and like rough lumber, like hardwood lumber from Peach State Lumber up in Kennesaw, and I've been planing it all down, and that planer just like fills that trash can up so quickly. But I'm getting a lot of good stuff, like probably 50 cents a piece of like nice chunk of like cherry for it. It's nice. It's fun. It's been fun to unwrap those gifts.
Nice.
Yeah. We're going to going to be traveling a little bit coming up, seeing family and all that good stuff. And
awesome. One thing I'm looking forward to is a cryptic Darren Eales tweet that actually makes me excited after it's finally solved, because they have been pretty lame.
Yeah, I think that Haleto hit the nail on the head. I think his guess for prediction for when the manager will get announced is probably closest. I could see it being something that they get squared away within the next 2 or 3 weeks and try to sit on it, or it's either, I think it could get released on a holiday, either be a Thanksgiving or what Haleto said with Christmas Day being a gift to the fans or something like that. I would hope to see something like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it depends who they get.
That's true, right?
Merry Christmas, everyone. It's Alan Party.
I'm telling you, man, Christ's in.
Oh my God.
I think we can land James Harden. It looks like he's available. He doesn't want to go back to Houston. So I think
nice.
We could probably spend $50 million that we got for Joseph on James Harden.
Cool.
It'd be worth it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about you guys? What are you guys doing in the off season?
Well, Dan said he was sleeping in his car.
That's right.
You said Dan was sleeping in his car.
Tasting Scotch eggs. That's what I heard.
God, Scotch egg tasting sounds so good. But like, are we talking different types of eggs? Are we talking about like a quail egg? That'd be a really small Scotch egg.
No, ostrich.
No, I'm doing a
just a summer sausage around it.
Doing a turducken Scotch egg. So it's a quail egg inside a duck egg inside a chicken egg inside a.
How do you even do that?
It's magic.
Oh. Well,
have you guys ever had chicken fried eggs? Have you guys ever had those?
No.
Dude, I had one time. It's like a deep fried, almost like a soft boiled egg. I don't know how they did it.
Huh.
But it's got like chicken fried steak breading on the outside, fried to a crisp. But
Whoa, interesting. Kevin, are you going to be cooking up another round of meth with chili powder in it?
Chili P.
You know it. Staying up until Santa gets here. Not sneaking by me this year. I'll be up all night. It's going to be great.
Cheesecoat Steve, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. So what else you got going on, Dan, next month and a half?
Pretty busy at work, so that's going to be kind of good. And then I don't know, just enjoying, like, I love Thanksgiving. I love preparing for the holidays. I love cooking. So, oh, that looks good, Tim. That looks really good.
For the people who are wondering what we're talking about, that's what I'm talking about.
That's a massive egg.
That is an ostrich egg. Or is it just a really tiny plate?
Might be a tiny plate.
It's a goose egg.
Oh, great.
That's like my version of Jeffrey Toobin. I just got caught screen sharing food.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. However you're spending the next couple of months, we'll be checking back in with you whenever we can. And hopefully Atlanta United doesn't suffer too bad in CCL. And hopefully we hear some news soon. We don't hear from you before the holidays. Have a happy Thanksgiving and whatever holidays you may have around December and the rest of the year. We wish you guys the best, and we'll talk to you soon. As always, be home before dark.
You don't need a criminal lawyer. You need a criminal lawyer.
What is that from Better Call Saul?
Yeah, it's Jesse Pinkman quote.
Oh.